Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. So much hypocrisy that you don't know which article to pick. That's where I am right now. I have so much information here that I can use and expose hypocrisy coming from adults, obviously, and people in control of countries and so many lives. In this case, it is the president of Ukraine, Zelensky, who claims something or warns someone of something that he is actually doing, and or at least his army is doing. And this is, the clear example of being a hypocrite. When you do something and you consider that being, as good because you're doing it, but ask someone not to do the same thing you're doing, or ask someone of doing something that you actually do in a in a negative way. And I'm talking about about civilians and about the way you conduct war. They asked the Russians to place their forces and their weapons in not around civilians and not around strategic positions or dangerous positions as would be Zaporizhzhya Nuclear Power Plant. But in the same time, the Ukrainian army, I think, the entire war or this operation fought under the cover of the cities, hidden and defending, click, I don't know exactly what, defending themselves and whatever, or the invaders, within the boundaries of cities. Therefore, having children, schools, hospital exposed to the Russian bombardment. And with that Amnesty International report that came and said that, documented that Ukrainians are using public spaces as kindergarten, schools and hospitals to deposit their ammunition and their military personnel. When the Russians are striking there, they expose civilians in the area, as well as having the military in the residential areas defending. When the Russians hit at them, the Ukrainians, these weasels, not the Ukrainians, the handlers of Ukraine, claim that the Russians are killing only civilians and they target only civilians because they are monsters. Well, I'm not doubting at all that civilians are dying, and I've never heard of a war where civilians did not die. No, it doesn't mean that's right. I'm trying to emphasize that if you want to take it that way, it occurs in war each and every time. Now, these guys are trying to make the Russians seem to be like targeting only civilians, and that's not the case. Now, here is Zelensky. We get to the article where Zelensky is pointing out the Zaporizhzhya nuclear power plant, which we have to remember has been in Russian hands and control since the beginning of March. 6th of March, 4th of March, beginning of March. We are in August, mid-August, right? So if we look at it, and they say they're shelling the nuclear plant. Who's shelling the nuclear plant? I took over your house. Who's shelling at the house that I am living in? I'm doing it, or someone who wants to take it from me now? So when I took it from you in about 10 days, right? From February 24th until March 4th, when I took it from you in 10 days, like Hitler took Paris in 3 weeks or whatever, right? Then now who wants it back? You want it back. So it's you who shells that plant. Now what Zelensky is saying here, and listen to this in the light of what I just said for about 4 minutes. Zelensky claims Russia using cover of Zaporizhzhya nuclear power plant to fire at Nikopol and manganets. Now, this article comes from the Republic World, and it's from today, August 14th. He claims that the Russians, the units that are positioned around nuclear plant, which I would position as well if I were over there, because I don't know what crazy can come over there and create a disaster. Each and every nuclear plant, wherever you go, unless you're crazy, has guards and has security for this purpose. Now, during a war, you don't know who's coming, who's going. So you put army around it to defend it from others, not to shoot at it, because they had so many months to destroy it if they wanted, with a few missiles that came from we don't know where. So that's not the purpose we have. As I said, from March until now, nothing happened over there. And all of a sudden now is the problem. Why? Someone must be shooting at it, because nothing changed in the condition of the plant. It's still under the same, I don't want to say protectorate, commandment or occupation. It's still the same people. So that did not change. What changed now? They just realized now that we can blackmail the world, and about 6 months or whatever, they didn't think that. It didn't occur to them. Yeah, because the Russians are idiots and criminals. Okay, if we talk like that, we can get anyone portrayed like that. So here he claims that the Russians are doing that. It's very possible to do that. But then that begs the question, what about you in the cities, Zelensky? What about you? Don't you conduct war from the cities, shooting at the Russians, the invading troops, right? In this case, who's trying to get the Zaporizhzhya plant back? You. So here in the Russians, in the whole, if you take it objectively, in this little game, these guys want to take it over from these guys. So you're shooting at them, they're shooting at you back. What do you expect? If you don't shoot, they're not going to shoot at you unless you shoot at them. Now you say, okay, they shoot targets, and then under that cover you can hit them. Well, that's true, and that's very dangerous. But for you to say that, oh, they're doing that, when you were doing that in the cities as of now, wherever they, I read an article that the Russians did this is the cities, people, and correlate that with the fact that Amnesty International came with that report, concluding that the Ukrainians position their weapons, they have been positioning their weapons near civilians, in the cities, in the residential areas, therefore exposing the civilians to danger. Therefore, if Russians do what Zelensky says they're doing, expose the Zaporizhzhya nuclear power plant to danger. That's clear. I'm not saying the Russians are doing something good. No, that's bad. I mean, that's weasel-like, let's put it this way. You stay over there and you know you're not going to be hit somehow. But then, coming from this guy who has been doing this since the beginning of the war, I haven't heard of Ukrainian army fighting in the fields, in a landing ground, in the beaches, never surrender. I never heard that. Never. Maybe one or two trickling, articles that said that, oh, they fought on this front. When I looked over the map, it was no town. It was okay, all right. That's a legitimate, face to face. Where is that fight? Where is the Waterloo? Where are the fights where armies meet and they fight, and the fight is decided in the field? No, these guys are fighting from towns, and they expect the Russians not to hit the towns because they're civilians. So this is a hypocritical claim coming from Zelensky. So Zelensky, first you look at your little beam in your eye, and then you look at the other guy's straw in their eye. All right, let's use this biblical analogy here. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart. Both things are wrong. Just to make sure we got that right. Both actions are wrong. Here and here. It's just hypocritical. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.